5, OSU and Indiana. And we're off. Great, powerful start, getting the whole speed up. Fun energy. Good starts by everybody. That's what you want. You want to get past that point and have no issues. Washington is trying to get themselves an early lead and make a statement, and Minnesota is right there with them. Minnesota has had a history of having some great fours here in the Big 10. Washington, again, being very effective with their rowing. The drop and press and swing with acceleration. I got to love that acceleration there. Minnesota's holding on. So you've got Washington, Minnesota, and then Ohio State with Rutgers right there. That's all Rutgers needs. They have been not the first off the start, but they have been part of the race for everyone they've been in. They like to make a statement as their starting sequence finishes. That's been a little bit of a pattern here. You can see the intensity with the Indiana crew. They've probably got a lot of fans here being at home. And again, Washington still in the lead in lane 3. Minnesota in lane 1 is in second place, followed by Ohio State, with Rutgers about a foot back from Ohio State. So again, Michigan right there as well. They're all in contact, which is perfect. Now what the Coxons need to do is get their crews up in position so that they make sure that they're in position for the last 500. Washington trying to create an open water lead over Minnesota, and they have it right there. Minnesota is even with Ohio State. Ohio State is trying to inch themselves forward. Then you've got first Washington, then you've got Ohio State, then Rutgers and Minnesota really close, really close. Again, you want to put yourself in a position to get the most points possible, so every place matters. There goes Washington. They're just demanding and expecting probably and pushing their crews way out in lead. But we're not going to forget about that battle between the 3 schools behind them, or 4 schools right there, that might push themselves back into it. But I have to say that Washington, the way they're moving that hull is effective, and with each stroke, they're getting more and more open water. Ohio State's seeming to get a little bit more on Rutgers, but don't think Rutgers is just going to let that happen. I can't see it from my view, Michigan or Minnesota, but you know that they're going to be in the race when we pan back to them. Again, here we go. Look at the Washington crew, long and strong and together. What we've been seeing earlier. If they can maintain this lead, that's 33 points. And we've got an overview shot on another monitor, and that's beautiful there. You've got Washington in first place. And then for second place, it is a dogfight between Minnesota, Michigan, Rutgers, and Ohio State. Now Rutgers is in the lead ahead of Ohio State, and then you have Michigan moving. You can see it by the bow of the hull and how they're moving that boat. And it's a battle between Rutgers and Michigan for this second place finish. All right. So based on the times there, the position has slightly changed since they went through that 1,000-meter mark. This is the 300 meters into it, and we're going to see who is going to be able to take advantage of this point. You want to try and move on a crew, capitalize on it. Again, as I said earlier, stay together, catches in together, power application together. That's what you want at this point. Washington, they've got probably a 2/3 of open water lead, and they look like they know it. You can feel the lightness in their bodies. It's almost like they're excited they can see the crews behind them, and so they're going with it, and they're enjoying that. And now if they can extend the lead, their coxswain can't see that, but they can see it. So if they take advantage of that, they're going to be just fine. Now in that second position, you've got those 4 crews duking it out. We're going to see who is in that second place. It looks like Michigan slightly, ever so slightly, over Rutgers. Now Rutgers is making a move over Michigan. They've both gotten probably almost a boat length over Ohio State. Now Rutgers has taken a couple seats on Michigan. Their bow seat is on Michigan's bow ball, right? So here they come. We're coming into this last 500, and who's going to get that second place, right? Rutgers keeps charging forward. As a matter of fact, they've made a dent into Washington. They might have run out of room at this point, but you never know. You have to finish clean. You have to finish with no crabs. We got to keep the unified rowing together. Look at that tightness between Michigan and Rutgers. This is a great race. You got the Washington teammates cheering on their buddies. They want to win this Big 10 championship. And it's going to be very important that Washington maintains this lead. You can see Michigan moving, the power of their catches, the excitement of the rating. This is awesome. Minnesota is right there. Are they going to get Ohio State? Is Rutgers going to be on top of Michigan with a victory? Right now, Michigan is slightly, ever so slightly ahead of Rutgers. But Rutgers seems to be moving. Man, this is a great race for second place. They're going to really want this position here. We're coming into the last 15 strokes. What will Michigan do? What will Rutgers do? They're going to row hard. They've closer to Washington, but they've run out of room to catch them. But who's going to come out ahead? It looks like Rutgers ever so slightly ahead of Michigan. Washington trying to hold on to that first place finish, and they do. And then as we come into the finish, it is Rutgers slightly ahead of Michigan. And then for that fourth place finish, you've got Ohio State right in front of Minnesota. You got Minnesota finishing, and then you got Indiana with about 7 strokes to go. What a great race for second place there. Holding off, accepting the challenges, and Indiana finishing 5th, 6th, I mean. Got to work on my counting. All right, what a great race.
Another great race indeed.
Absolutely. Down to, I would say that was a coxswain's race there between 2 and 3. The incredible trust to be able to tell your athletes, I need you to go and I need you to go now. That is exactly what happened between Rutgers and Michigan. And Rutgers was able to snag that second place position away from Michigan. We'll get a little replay here of those last few strokes. So again, when they're in this situation, the athletes cannot see who's in first. They are trying to do everything in their power to stay focused internally with what's happening. But the coxswains, I can see them looking side to side at each other, trying to try it on their athletes to be able to get that inch ahead. And as we see it here, Rutgers just tenths of seconds ahead of the University of Michigan for this win.
Take a look at the results, and you see the exhaustion on these athletes. Washington in first, tight with Rutgers and Michigan.
It was really important for Rutgers to stay ahead of Michigan in this race. Based on the difference of points and how the spread works, they needed to win this in order to have Washington in their sights to be able to claim a Big 10 championship.
It's interesting that it's that tight, as it's been about Washington and Rutgers. You just mentioned the overall standings. Let's get you caught up. Washington now at 99, Rutgers at 89, Michigan and Ohio State, again, just 2 points separate those two teams who normally win the Big 10 rowing championships.
Absolutely. This expansion has really changed a lot of things up. And so we're also, looking for a Big 10 champion out of this event, but also looking for down to the top 5 for potential bids to go to the NCAA.
For the big boats, there are big points, and indeed, it will come down to that final race.
It absolutely will. Down to the line is how we like to see it.
99 for first in the final.